I'm just gonna, like I did, introduce myself, tell you a few things. Then I'm gonna go over the supplies that I use to ship ephemera, and then I'm gonna go over some like do's and don'ts basically of shipping. And then for the last like 10-15 minutes, we'll do questions. Obviously, you can ask a question anytime. Um, and I will try to answer it, but I've devoted the last 15 minutes or so specifically to questions. Thank you, Thrifty. Yeah. Thank you, Fant Judy. Yeah, this community is amazing. So, and I'm glad I could do the shipping show. So, anywho, let's get started. Um, basically, I have been selling ephemera for, let's see, I don't know, middle of 2022. Hey, Jackie Jax, how you doing? Happy Friday. I started selling on Whatnot in December of 2022, so it's been a while. And basically, my experience either comes from obviously selling and then shipping out myself, but also I buy a lot from a lot of different, yeah, sellers on Whatnot, a lot of ephemera sellers, and from ephemera sellers online everywhere, right? So I see what I get and how they ship it, and I learn what works and what doesn't. So, like I said, this is how I do it. If you do it differently and it works for you, then keep doing you. I'm just hopefully you'll learn something from this. And if not, well, sorry. um, but yeah, so this is what works for me. And welcome in, you guys. Thanks for coming to F Talks. Um, all right, so let's start with some of the supplies that I use. Um, everything that I sell goes in some sort of bag or plastic, or these are top loader or vintage, or not vintage, document displays. um, because the biggest thing I think, with paper obviously, is you don't want it to get wet, right? And a lot of the stuff we sell is antique. It's very old, it's one of a kind, photos that you won't find again. You don't want it to get moisture on the paper. So I think that is very important. That's one of the biggest tips, I think. The only exception is when I um, mail the giveaways. I don't always put them in plastic just because these ship first class, and usually the danger to these getting wet is pretty low because they usually go in like mailboxes and stuff. Um, but that's sometimes the only exception that I do. But these are postcard sleeves. Exactly. Yeah. You will get packages in the mail. You'll be like, "What happened?" Everything happens. So you have to be prepared for all scenarios. And it's not just the USPS, it's UPS and FedEx. They're all, I mean, my husband works for a large trucking shipping company. He sees it all too. I mean, the boxes are going to get damaged, right? So you got to protect the product. And the giveaway is about ready to go. So let's see who's going to win this. And I will continue talking. Who's going to win this first one? Exactly, Dawn. Exactly. Gina, congratulations. That is coming to you, that first little ephemera bundle. Congrats. All right. And I'm also going to show you two. I actually just sold a cabinet card photo on a different platform, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to package that too. So, yeah, sometimes our packages come to the state we're in, and then they go back, and then they come back. It's wild. Anyway, so protect the ephemera. So I use these. These are just standard size ephemera. Oh my gosh, words are hard. Postcard sleeves. I know Marlette Schmidt Auctions sells these in her Buy It Now. This is where I got these. So, and all of my shipping supplies, I get them on Amazon or like from sellers on here. I know not everybody likes Amazon. There's shipping supplies all over. Just search shipping supplies on Google, and there's Uline, there's American Bubble Boy, there's eBay, there's all the places that have shipping supplies. So Amazon is not the only one. It's the cheapest, and I am a Prime member, so I get free shipping. So it works for me. But yeah, so there's postcard sleeves. There's the big. I know, me too, Jackie Jacks. I do. there's the like continental size postcard sleeves. Then I get these bags here as well. These are just a little bit larger. They are, I mean, I got like probably 1,000 of these for like 20 bucks. I mean, so just any of these little plastic bags. And then I have a little bit bigger of the bags. So just depending on the size of the ephemera. These ones do have the little sticky. I know not everyone loves the sticky bags, especially with paper. But I think if you're careful, they work well. And then an even larger bag. So all the sizes of bags that you're going to need for all the different kinds of ephemera. And then I have all the envelopes that I use. So this one is just a bubble mailer. I do love these because they're waterproof. So again, it is protected from moisture. You never know when the post office is going to deliver something and it's going to be sitting out in the rain or whatever. Luckily, I use a P.O. box, so all my stuff stays dry in the post office. Um, but yeah, you never know. The only thing with these is that they're not rigid, right? So they'll easily get bent. So what I use, I also recycle a lot. Like I said, I order a lot of ephemera from lots of different sellers on here and everywhere else online. Um, and so I reuse a lot of the shipping supplies as long as they're still in good condition. This is just like a cardstock, like a poster board. This one's been cut down, but you can also get the larger size ones. This is like an 8 by 10. And then also, these are just little pieces of cardboard. You can use, I recycle boxes all the time and cut them up and use the cardboard from them, especially because if the boxes comes crushed, there's still usually something you can use. But yeah, so I would use, like for these small bubble mailers, I would probably take a couple of these and put them in here um, to make it a little more sturdy. But like I said, I do like these because they are waterproof. And then do love the more rigid envelopes. There are lots of different kinds of these. This is approximately 7.5 by 9 3/4. Um, they have the little peel off thing there, and they work nice because they're a little more rigid. I still put extra support even in these because you never know. And this is a little bit larger rigid envelope, like 9 1/4 by 11 3/4 or so. Basically, I just make sure I have envelopes that are in all the sizes that I'm going to need, right? Um, because ephemera varies on the sizes. There's magazines and then there's, tiny little photos. Um, and this is just another larger bubble mailer that also I would use cardboard um, to sturdy this, obviously. But again, waterproof. So I know it's not going to get water damage. All right. So then also, um, a lot of times for my giveaways, or if I just someone buys just a couple postcards and I use the first class shipping, this is just another sturdier envelope. I don't usually put more support in these because, again, first class mail, they're, as long as it's the not thicker than 1/4 of an inch. Um, and if we have time at the end, I can quickly go through how to set that up for your whatnot shows. Um, but if not, I can always make a video about that or something. But the thing with these and the first class ones, so I have these do not bend stickers, and you can get a huge roll of these from your USPS for pretty cheap, or a lot of other places as well. These just say handle with care, do not bend. Um, but do not put these on your first class envelopes because their rule, the USPS's rule, is that they don't bend these anyways. Like they're not supposed to bend the first class envelopes. And sometimes if you use a do not bend sticker, the buyer will have to pay extra shipping when they receive it. So just a little tip there. And welcome in, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I am just doing a little show on, um, yeah, I didn't know that either until actually before Time Shop told me that because he won a giveaway and I sent it to him. And hey, look, another Ferrari. Um, welcome in. But yeah, so they're not supposed to bend any of the first class envelopes. So you don't want to use a do not bend. Otherwise, they may charge you for that next shipping level. Also, things that work really well are these small boxes. These fit postcards and things very nicely. So if your buyer, buys a few more things and you need a box for it, obviously, I'm not going to reuse this box because it has a little hole in it, but I could cut the back of this off. Thank you so much for your buy it now purchase. Was there? That's awesome. But I will cut this and use this to support something else that I ship. So I definitely reduce, reuse, recycle your shipping supplies, please, unless they're super beat up, then I don't recommend. But, you know, we're trying to save the environment here. Also, another thing that works really well for maybe an album or large stacks of postcards um, is this gigantic roll of plastic shrink wrap stuff. I use this a lot more when I sell vintage decor, but it also works to wrap up stacks of postcards, things like that. If you don't want to use tape and if you don't have a bag or something that it'll fit in, this will also protect it from moisture. So, yeah, great for albums, scrapbooks, that sort of thing. And I got two of these on Amazon for like 20 bucks. Like they're super cheap, honestly. Oh no, reuse it. Yeah, I hate throwing stuff away. I really do. Other things that I use are these rigid document displays, or what you call top loaders, or what I call top loaders. They come in all different sizes. So this holds like a baseball card size. Um, oh, Shelby, that's awesome. Yeah, if you ever have any questions, just let me know, and I will be taking questions here towards the end too. If you have any questions, that's awesome. So these come in all different sizes as well. These do get a little pricey, but I mean, I don't use them all the time. And then there's also ones that aren't quite as stiff as the rigid document displays. Um, but these work well too, just to, protect the ephemera. So, you know what? That works well too, Vibel. Like anything you can reuse, just like JPS does with her junk journaling. Same thing with packing, as long as it's not, in bad enough shape, like too bad a shape that it's not going to do anything. But yeah, definitely. I have gotten many different boxes and pieces of cardboard from sellers, and that's fine as long as it's not dirty or something. Also, so I'm going to show you what how I package something. Um, I sold this cabinet card over on another platform. Just an antique photo. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Um, and so I had a plastic bag, like sort of like these ones, but this one's just a little bit thicker. There are different thicknesses of bags you can get too. And then I do tape the bag around the item. Now, not everyone, like I said, approves of using tape around paper. But what I have found is if you use a scotch tape like this is just a cheap invisible scotch tape from Dollar General. What a person can do then is easily unstick this and pull the tape off before you even take the paper out of the bag, and then you don't have to worry about the paper sticking to the tape. Please don't use super strong packing tape. Thank you so much for your buy it now purchases, Karen. I appreciate you. You unlocked Monza, so if you go up in that little circle there, you can redeem some coupons. Um, but yeah, please don't use packing tape because it sticks so much, and if the ephemera does get stuck to it, it's going to damage the paper. Um, but just a cheap, it sticks good enough, but it doesn't stick too much, right? Now, when you're doing vintage decor and you're taping bubble wrap, that's fine. Use packing tape. Like, that's totally different. than ephemera. But yeah, painter's tape, like a masking tape, works well. Exactly, Annie. Yeah, something that sticks enough but not too much, right? And then I just have a piece of a box, thicker cardboard. So what I'm gonna do, so this doesn't move around, yeah, you don't want to fight to open it. So that this stays put in the um, envelope, I'm just gonna put a little piece of tape on the sides here. This is also on the outside of the bag where the photo is. So that way it's not moving around in the envelope. I am using one of these rigid envelopes here. Hey, Karma, welcome in. And that's just going to go in there, and it's not too thick. And then I will put my little thank you note in there. I will shut this. And another thing, when you shut these, do not tape over the pull tabs, because you also don't want someone to have to use scissors to get in here because they might cut the ephemera. Yeah, please don't tape over that. You really only need, now this you can use packing tape. Um, sorry, Marla. Yes, Thrifty. And I learned that from Requiem Salvage. So yeah. Yeah, because you don't want to have to cut into it, right? So just put a piece right here. It can go a tiny bit over that, but you just need a little piece right here. This sticky is pretty good. Ooh, look at everyone using Unlock and Monza. Um, so yeah, so just a little piece of packing tape right here. These stickies are pretty darn strong. Um, and I mean, yes, things do happen, but you don't want to have to cut into this. So then I will put a do not bend sticker on this side. Then I'll put the label on here, and I will put another do not bend sticker on this side because this isn't going first class. This will go ground. And then I put my little thank you sticker on there, and it's ready to go. And this is not getting bent unless they try really really hard. So I am confident that this will make it to the buyer. So what, CBB? I'm confused. Sorry. But yeah. So let's see. Anything else that I want to talk about for that? Let me look at my list. So we have all the supplies, I think. Okay, so first class is let's see. Yes, so don't use these on your first class. So first class is usually 0 to 1, sometimes up to 3 ounces. Oh yes, that's right. The extra piece of tape is important because yeah, the climate differences and things with humidity. That's true. You want extra tape, just not too much, right? There's a happy medium. So yeah, these can't go in first class. And if you set up your shipping, I probably have time. Let me just show you real quick. So here's my iPad. Hello. Let's go to one of my upcoming shows. Yeah, so a regular card, um, or whatever, just like you would use just a regular stamp for, is first class, and then ground is over an ounce usually. So let's go to my ephemera show coming up. Make sure to bookmark that, guys. My store is already loaded for Monday's show. But if we go into edit show and you go down here and to your shipping settings. All right, so here's your shipping settings. I know I'm trying to get ahead because I'm going on vacation soon. Hey, Murphy. So I'm trying to get ahead a little bit. Hey, how are you? Happy Friday. Okay, so where am I? Oh, I don't want that. I want to go back. Okay, shipping settings, see more options. Here we go. Domestic shipments. Click on the arrow. Up here, it will say USPS first class letter. For shipments valued $20 and below, and then obviously if it's above that, it'll go ground. So you want to click that on. That way, if you're doing giveaways, for instance, and they don't weigh very much, you can use the first class and it only charge you like 73 cents. And then for all of my shows, I never ever change this. I always have 1 to 5 pounds priority. over 5 ground. I never change it. Other sellers say different things, and that's fine. Um, you know, do whatever works for you, but that's how I always do it. And then when you go to, yeah, I just don't change it. And then, so I'm going to enter a giveaway. And this is how then you set up that first class shipping. So we're just going to do a temporary listing. And you want to choose either one piece cards, which is, I think it's under like sports cards, I do believe. Others, I think. Is it? I don't remember where it's trading cards. Yeah, it's under trading cards. So I just have it. I use it all the time, so it's already there. Or you can use stickers. So either way, it'll use that first class. And then I just title it. Yep, stickers works just fine. Um, Title whatever you want your giveaway. And then when you come down here, you're going to select the 0 to 1 ounce. And then it'll only charge you, oops, that 73 cents shipping or whatever. So hopefully that made a little bit of sense. But yeah, I can always, you know, teach that to do that in my upcoming shows or whatever. But anyway, so that's the difference between first class. First class is like your giveaways that I'm doing. So speaking of that, let me do another giveaway. Um, yeah, good. I am glad. Let's do another givey. Speaking of which, so my giveaways usually for first class, um, yeah. I just use these old greeting card envelopes that I don't have the greeting cards for. And everyone is getting in their giveaway. So this will just send out just like this with a first class label on it. You get a vintage X Files postcard, a swap card, a PCW. PCW. I don't know what PCW stands for. A little apothecary label. PWE is plain white envelope. Yeah. A antique foreign postcard, this little hockey card, and a color snapshot. So that's what your giveaways are. Yes, PWE is plain white envelope. Yep, it has to be a certain size and it can't go over it be thicker than 1/4 inch. It has to be able to get into the yeah, the little they have like a little measuring thing that they'll do when I take my packages and make sure they go through the little slit or whatever. So yeah. Anyways, that's your giveaway. So get in on that. I'm gonna get a drink of water real quick because I am talking a lot. And at 4:45 Central Time, we're gonna go over to see Mighty Annie. I am gonna give you all your time, Annie. Yes, and please, yeah. So this isn't my show today isn't specifically whatnot shipping, but yes, when it comes to whatnot shipping, please weigh all your items. Make sure you have your weights correct before you print your label. I tried using 1 ounce for my postcard show, but my first buyer. So you probably didn't have in your show settings where I showed edit show and you go down to your shipping settings, you probably didn't have that first class shipping tab, that toggle. I mean, I've heard that from other sellers too, that sometimes it's just whatnot is whatnotting. Um, Maybe did you have it on one piece cards or stickers? Because that makes a difference too. Because if it's in the ephemera category, yeah, so you want it to be in either stickers category or one piece cards category. Otherwise, if it's an ephemera, it will charge you that $4. So even though it's a postcard, you still put it under one piece cards or stickers so you can get that first class shipping. But like I said, I can always go over any of that with any of you. Feel free to message me with any questions. If you're new and you're freaking out about something, I can always go over it with you on FaceTime or whatever. I'm happy to do that. I love helping new sellers. Actually, that was one of kind of my uh New Year's resolutions. I want to help smaller sellers. That's true, people. They do. Um, it's just help newer sellers, with things. And I've tried to rate into newer people sometimes and just, help out. Oh, Shelby, that's so sweet. That really. That's gonna make me cry. Thank you. Let's see. So I want to make sure I went over all of my talking points. So we did first class. Make sure you put it in some sort of plastic. Hey, Jelly Bean. Some sort of plastic or bag or plastic wrap so it protects it from moisture, or one of these bubble mailers. Just with these, make sure you use some sort of extra support in there with cardboard or like a cardstock. Um, the do not bend stickers. I know sometimes they can't read and things do get bent. It happens, but I've probably only received two things in the last 3 years that have really been actually bent when it says do not bend. Um, I've really only had one thing, right? Exactly, they do. Um, one thing get damaged in shipping, was not my fault. Um, it was definitely the post office, and shit happens, unfortunately. Hey, easy peasy. But do everything you can, right, to get it to the buyer, safely. So, don't tape over the envelope pulley tabs, but do put a little bit of a secure tape on there. Um, and don't use the packing tape when you're packing shutting the bags around the ephemera. Oh, also, so not all ephemera that we sell can fit in these smaller envelopes, right? Oh, who's gonna win the giveaway? Who's it gonna be? Allison! Yay! Allison, that is coming to you. Congratulations. Yay, Allison. We love our Allison. You are very welcome. All right, so not all of the ephemera we sell can fit in these smaller bags, right? Sometimes the large Life magazines, they're not always all going to fit. And if it goes over a pound, you will go into the priority mail anyways. So these medium flat rate boxes. These are free from the USPS. You can get them on their website, or you can just go to your post office and pick them up. Um, this is the side loading um, medium flat rate. So this is for anything that is over a pound. With these, I like to put a little bit of packing paper down at the bottom, put the items in there, and then fill it back up with packing paper so it's full and the paper doesn't flop around in there. Again, though, remember, please put it in a plastic bag of some sort or wrap it in a plastic wrap so that it does not get wet if the box gets wet. Yes, you want to reduce the movement. You don't want a lot of motion in the ocean, if you know what I mean. Welcome in, you guys. Hey, Ian Bug. Okay, so any questions? Does anybody have any questions about what I went over? My rigid mailers and bubble mailers. Yeah, exactly, Barla. Not for shipping. We don't want their van rocking. Yeah. The rigid mailers and bubble mailers I get on Amazon. Um, but there are many places you can get them, but Amazon's my favorite. Plus, I'm a Prime member, so I don't really pay shipping and I get it quickly, especially sometimes I will be running out of something and I won't notice, and I'll have an order to pack and I won't have something to pack it in, so I need to order from Amazon and I'll get it the next day. Um, right? I know Amazon can be controversial, but it works for me. But there's also eBay, there's Uline, there's American Bubble Boy, there's a million different places out there. So, um, and you know what? Some people's budget is different than other people's too. But I find Amazon to be very reasonable on prices. Um, so yeah, so stuff like this I find on Amazon. Where'd my little postcard sleeves go? Postcard sleeves you can find a lot of whatnot sellers. Yeah, Walmart. Yes, thank you. Yes, Walmart is good too. And also that's another one. If you're running out and you need something right away, go to Walmart. Yeah, they do. Thank you, Marla. Um, Speaking of Marla, she has a lot of times we'll have these postcard sleeves in her yes, on sale, yeah. These in her buy it now, so I use those a lot. They're just the small standard size postcard sleeves. There's also continental size postcard sleeves. I believe Popeye's postcards a lot of times will sell those in his buy it now. Yep, they're fantastic. This isn't the only brand out there, but they work good. Um, Smaller boxes like these work good for postcards because they fit in there perfectly. Again, I would put some paper in there to, we don't, like we said, we don't want too much motion in the ocean. Um, yeah, yep. There's a lot of places to buy your shipping supplies. So that's just personal preference, honestly. Um, and yeah, so let me know if there's any more questions. I do have my weekly ephemera shows every Monday at noon Central. Um, Happy to answer questions anytime. The document displays or the top loaders I also get on Amazon, but yeah, you can get these anywhere. There's all different sizes. This is like a baseball card size. This is more of a 4x6, and this is, I think, is a 5x7. I use these usually if it's not going first class, because sometimes these can get a little bulky in the smaller envelopes, but they do work well to keep your ephemera flat like you want it. Oh, you missed all the info. Well, I'm pretty sure that Papergoy, his YouTube channel, Million Dollar Peddlers on YouTube, is streaming live and you will be able to go back and watch it. So, I'm pretty sure he was earlier, and I think he's doing that all night. So, yes, yes, that's what I thought. So, Marla. So yeah, on Million Dollar Peddlers, make sure you follow their YouTube, and you will be able to watch these again. And like I said, feel free to message me anytime with questions. I am happy to answer them. Um, and yeah, yes, Marla does have shipping tips on her website. Yes, schmidtauctions.com. Also, you can go on. I know, right? CVV special. Um, you can go on schmidtauctions.com and yeah. Thank you, Thrifty. Oh, you took it down mercifully, Marla. Well, shame on you. You need to get back up there. No, there's a lot of also YouTube channels that have shipping info. Um, Talked you into it, didn't I? Twisted your arm. Welcome in, you guys. This is F Talks, and we have more sellers coming up. Annie's coming up. Mighty Annie's coming up next, and then yes, Postcard Alley train this weekend. Very exciting. So many trains coming up, and if you want to be a part of any of the trains, like I said, go to schmidtauctions.com, and you can go to the Whatnot tab and enter your information to be in any of the upcoming trains. So thank you all for your buy it now purchases as well. I appreciate it. It's true, Jackie Jacks. You just got to do the best you can. And, some sellers say, especially in the vintage decor category, if you can't kick your package across the room and know that it's going to be safe, then it's probably not packed well enough. With ephemera, it's a little bit different. You just don't want it to bend or get wet, right? We want to protect the antique paper. I am in Iowa. I am in central Iowa. Yes, I am in Maxwell. Greetings from Maxwell, tiny little town. Annie said that I should go over to the post office because it's right on the other side of the uh the wall here. Our post office is right next door to my office. But they close at 2:30 because it's a tiny, tiny little town. So they don't stay open that much. But I do absolutely love the lady who and all the people who work at my local post office. They are fantastic. It helps. Oh, you live in Ankeny. Well, that's perfect. Yep, not too far away at all. I do bring them cookies. Uh, so that helps. Oh yes, sorry to answer your question about the homemade greeting cards. There is a huge artisan category on Whatnot, and yeah, so sell them here. Yep, Fraja does that. He does the upcycled. Oh yeah, Marla, can you put the Schmidt auctions in the box there? Um, Cookies always help. Exactly, bribery. Um, do I make them as I'm selling them? You can, or you can just sell them already made. Yep, it's up to you. Maxwell is about 2.5 hours away from Davenport. It's kind of right in the middle. Like there's Des Moines and then Maxwell's just. Yes, I do like my receipts in my packages, Annie. Yes. Um, a lot of sell. Oh, I have an offer. Yes, Annie, please put your packing slips, packing receipts in your packages. Um, yes. All right, that is yours. Your offer has been accepted. Thank you so much. Um, you don't see, Marla, you're learning some things tonight. Um, I know it's more to print out. It's more paper. I do have a thermal printer. It is the best money spent ever. Um, but yeah, I think it's worth it because people like to see what they bought, right? And you want to make sure that that they get what they ordered. It is available online. Yes, you can see it, but some people don't know how to get to that and find it. So people like to have. I am one of those that likes physical papers. Yes, I do that too, Jackie Jacks. Um, I will reopen the envelope though, honestly, and put it in there because I do not like to not have it in there. Um, but yeah, I am not. I write everything down. Yeah, type. I mean, it depends. I do try to put it in there though. So, right? Me too, thrifty. Sometimes with the vintage decor though, sometimes you can just stick it into the flap there. So that kind of works if it's a bigger box. So yeah. No, I am one that I like to write everything on paper. So, yep, Texas Jesse. It helps for taxes later on. And it also helps as a buyer and a seller, I think, to just keep their records, and then they don't have to print out the whole long, what is it, the CSV or whatever at the end. Yes, Karma. Yes, you did. That was your poll last night. Yeah, whether people want the packing slip, and most people do. Yep, I am an ephemera person. Exactly. I am one of those. You are very welcome. Okay, we've talked you into it, Marla. Some people who don't have a thermal printer or have both a thermal and a regular printer will print the packing slip on regular printer paper and then stick on the thermal label, on the box. So it just depends. I I think the labels are pretty cheap, honestly, so I don't mind it using the sticky thermal labels. So yeah, large magazines can be. Yeah, ink is so expensive. Exactly, Veeble. The thermal printer has paid for itself in like a week. It's amazing. So, um, yeah, it is hard. You just got to be stocked, and that's why, again, like I said, why I like Amazon because I can get it overnight. But yeah, like Marla said too, Walmart has great shipping stuff. So Dollar General does too. So if you're from Iowa, um, all small towns have a Dollar General. That's just a thing. If there's a empty field, we'll put a Dollar General in it. So they have great shipping supplies too. Yeah, ink costs more than the printer, that's for sure. How do you feel about sandwiching stuff between two flat sheets of cardboard? Oh, Marla, that's fine. As long as it's sealed up and it's in plastic, and if it gets wet, it's not going to ruin it. That's fine with me. As I started a buyer under my name, but I have vintage. So you know what, Shelby? I actually did change my name slightly. Um, when I first started whatnot, I was Ferrari 0812, and then I changed it to Ferrari's Finds. The only thing is that when you change it, if you haven't sold anything yet, it's usually easier. Just because, yeah. um, if you have orders, like orders are out there, or whatever, you have to contact whatnot. Yeah, no open transaction. So it's easier usually before you start selling. Um, but if you're in the middle of selling and want to change it, just yeah, you can't have any open transactions, or you just email whatnot, I think is what I did. Um, and they were, yeah, it was pretty easy. So it's not too big of a deal. But yeah, just make sure, yep. just make sure, people know who you are. So, but we have just a few minutes left, you guys. If there's anything you want me to go over again, um, so yeah, you can always email Whatnot, Shelby. I think that's what I had to do was email them, and they switched over right away. I think within like a few hours. So not a big deal. Actually, one of the big ephemera sellers here just changed his name too, and we all know who he is. Yes, Annie, are you ready? I can read you anytime, my dear. Annie is going to be talking about um, exaggerated postcards. So, and she knows her stuff about postcards. So she's very knowledgeable, and I'm sure we will learn a lot. So, yeah, Annie, let me know. I should see her go live, but if I don't, let me know. But yeah, I appreciate you all so much. I appreciate your buy it now purchases. Awesome, Texas Jesse. I'm glad I could help. And I'm glad that Marla had the idea to do the shipping thing. And I'm glad I could do it. So it worked out nicely. But stay on the train the rest of the night because we've got Paper Goy coming up who's going to be talking about books, and Turner Vintage Postcard is talking about other types of postcards, and then El Ephemera is talking about presidential and political ephemera. So it is going to be a good evening. Just hang out, spend your Friday evening with us. um Hopefully it's not too hot where you are, or like pouring down rain like it was here yesterday. It's not too bad here today, though. It's not. It's going to be hot again tomorrow. Don't forget to the Postcard Alley ephemera train this weekend, too. You have a storm coming. Yeah, man, it rained so much last night. It was crazy. Embrace the change, Marla. Exactly. I know. Change can be hard. Hey, flipping cool. Welcome in. We were just talking about the rain we got here last night. Did it rain down there? It was wild. Exactly, Jack Jacks. All right, let me know if Annie goes on. I appreciate you all. Welcome in. This is F Talks. I know. I am going to keep my logo the same. I will keep my logo the same. Yes, it rained a lot. There she is. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Let's go see Mighty Annie and learn from her. Again, thank you, you